I inherited everything from my father. My sister is furious.
Hey, money me, give money me. I want your money me now.
I'm in my late 40s, married, and we are a single income house. Husband works. I take care of literally everything else. My adult son still lives with us while in college and also working full time. He doesn't make a lot. And what he does make goes to tuition, so he doesn't pay rent, though he does cover other non-food related needs. And by the way, this comes from U-Professional Elk 5272 on the ROK Storytime subreddit. So my sister is in her early 50s, divorced, and of course also has a single income household. Her youngest turned 18 and moved out in August last year, so the child support stopped. She does work, has a master's degree, and although I won't state her chosen field, she doesn't make that much currently, less than my husband in his field with no degree, or at least that's what she tells me. We each have our debts. We have a mortgage, a line of credit on our house, a loan for some plumbing, and 2 credit cards, ongoing vet expenses, car repairs, etc., etc. My sister's biggest debt is college loans she struggles to pay, a care credit bill because her cat ate a ribbon in June and needed emergency surgery. Do not mention a cat right now.
Do not,
Dakota in the room.
Do not let your cats eat ribbons, fools.
And an IRS bill because I guess she doesn't have enough taxes taken out of her check throughout the year, and also no longer has a dependent to claim. If her college loans weren't on an income-based payment plan at the moment, her payments would be $700 plus. We took out a line of credit on our house to try to pay some of our debts. She tapped into her 401k. Still, technically, if you went dollar for dollar, our debts are greater. Our father passed in May. Probate took a few months. As the title says, he left everything to me. And everything includes some investment money, which is more money than either of us will ever see at once. His house, which is badly in need of serious costly repair that is not just cosmetic and all the stuff in it, mostly music memorabilia, old furniture, and moldy crap. Dude, that must suck. To your father passed away, which is already so tragic, and then he leaves everything to your sister.
I wonder why.
That's a good question.
Like, what was the reasoning there? There had to be some kind of reasoning there, right?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Either way,
Maybe she'll say.
hard situation to navigate, right?
And it just causes, I imagine it'd be so easy for that to like cause like conflict between you and the sister who received everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, so many families break, like go no contact because of like bad wills or just like issues with the legal process with that.
Yeah.
Like that's speaking from experience of my family. It gets messy.
Yeah. It's certainly best to get in front of it. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. A real estate agent took an informal look around as a favor. House was still packed after he passed away and estimated that if we sold it as is, we might get $200,000. The house flipping people she knew were not interested in taking it on.
Damn.
It must be a bad house.
Dude, that thing is in bad
If the people
shape.
that
If the
flip
flippers are
bad
like,
houses are like,
there's no money there.
I'm not taking that.
You might as well burn it down and sell the land. Like, that's crazy.
The house flipping people said she knew we're not interested in taking it on. Dad still owed $83K on it. Damn, so it comes with the bill.
Okay.
So whatever it does sell for, that comes right off the top. He also passed away with over $100,000 of medical debt, but thankfully none of those debtors put a lien against the house before the 6 months was up. I have made every single loan payment, the property taxes on his house, repairs on his furnace. I will be paying for the dumpster or junk removal people. I will be paying for storage for the stuff being saved. I paid for the probate attorney. I paid for the funeral. I didn't ask for help with any of that and don't feel she has any responsibility to, for the record, yeah, he left everything to you.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
So far, Dad passing away has cost me $18,000. The inheritance isn't free. Yeah, but it's like it's $18,000 taken out of.
It is true.
Yours.
It's not free. There's money that gets taken out of it, but you do end up probably at the end of the day on top. Like you're not. Yeah, paying more than what you're getting.
Yeah,
but you do. Yeah, it's like winning the lottery. It's like winning the lottery is also not.
You got to
free.
pay your taxes.
You got to pay all the tax.
Metaphorical taxes.
Yeah.
So why did he leave everything to me? Good question.
Yes, please.
He was an extremely difficult man, a narcissist, spiteful, emotionally and verbally abusive, bitter from being in a wheelchair from his 30s on. Passed away at 70, and he ran off every single family member and friend he had, my sister included.
Well, turns out she did nothing.
Yeah. He was...
Turns out he was a
a lack of better words, he was a difficult man to be with. Nothing was ever his fault. It was always the other person, according to him. She chose to cut contact for her own sanity, which I was a little jealous of and fully supported. They did not part on good terms, and they hadn't spoken or seen each other in almost 20 years. I didn't leave. He and I had no healthy boundary. For over 20 years, I was there almost every weekend, both days, almost every holiday. He required it, or it was a fight. At times, I was on the phone with him up to 10 hours a day, every day.
Full-time job. Well, that's why you got all the money. That's why you got everything.
You
were
deserve
doing
all
the
the
full-time
money.
job.
And yet, it's
Taking
like...
care of your narcissistic father. Crazy.
It's like I'm conflicted. I feel like so sad for you and mad for you, and yet... you created the scenario where you're the victim. Or you didn't create it, but you were complicit to it by being the only one who didn't leave like everyone else did.
What do you mean?
So it's like...
that's the one getting the inheritance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So...
you mean saying, a victim of like the situation with like...
I'm saying I'm so upset for her. I'm so sad for her that she had to experience the brute of her father. But she was the only one who didn't put boundaries down with him.
Oh, yeah.
And so she stayed.
But hey, you got a sick inheritance out of it, right?
So you do deserve that inheritance, but I wish you just put down boundaries. And I understand it's highly complex, and I don't understand the scenario.
What if this situation is just OP's a sociopath who was just been playing the long game for the inheritance? No, it's not true. It's not true. I'm just messing around, okay? It's not true.
All right.
I just remembered a very sad, tragic tale.
Oh, what is it?
I remember when a young Samuel Donner, he wanted to join the cool kids, but instead of labeling you as one of the cool kids,
they called me Salad Boy because I ate nothing but salads. Could not trade my lunch for a lunch. Really anything.
You know what community will always welcome you with open arms, Sam?
And make you feel like a cool kid?
The great people who have OK Storytime memberships.
Oh, I heard that 60 plus hours of members-only content Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
You heard right, Sam, and it's only $5 a month.
So go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join. Now back to the story.
Chomp, chomp.
So for over 20 years, I was there almost every weekend, both days, almost every holiday. He required it or it was a fight. At times, I was on the phone with him up to 10 hours a day, every day. When I was there, I cooked for him, cleaned his house. I did his grocery shopping. I went to all his doctor's appointments. I got him ready for those doctor appointments. I did all his wound care. He did not because he complained about how hard it was. And there were many wounds, many rounds of rehab, hospital stays.
Full time.
Full time. Not only are you like bearing the brunt of being the only relationship he has, you're his nurse.
Yeah.
You're in full charge of his care. That's
full time.
Awful. He spent almost 3 years going to weekly wound care appointments. I even cleaned him up when he had bathroom accidents. When he fell out of bed, my husband and I were the ones he called in the AM to come help him. I'm not saying like that, like I deserve a pat on the back. I'm not a saint. Excuse me. I resented a lot of responsibility and did my share of complaining, but if I stopped, there was no one else. He lived alone with a dog, no friends, no family, and he was not capable of caring for himself while refusing any form of assisted living, nursing home, or paid care at home because, that was supposed to be me 24/7. According to him, it was in his will that he was going to leave everything to me and just $100 to my sister, in quotes, to get wasted on because he was past.
Bitter. Just a bitter man.
Seriously. Yeah, he was that kind of cruel. She knew and refused the $100 because, like a normal person, she was hurt and insulted. He had to go out with like a jab. Jesus. I don't know if his will actually said that verbatim. His lawyer friend said it didn't, but I've not seen it, and indeed everything was left to me. My sister knew this and even signed a paper with the probate attorney that she was not contesting. I've given her whatever she has wanted to keep of his possessions as we've gone through his wrecked house, regardless of value, because who cares? Just stuff. It was her dad too. I've not given her money currently, but I've told her over and over and over that I'll help her once the house sells. Hopefully before summer comes and we see what money we have to work with. I told her I'd pay her $3,000 IRS bill when it's due in June. That's nice.
Yeah.
Repeatedly, I've told her I will help. She just has to wait. I'm waiting. I've done nothing frivolous with the investment money. My husband and I are not living it up. I've not paid a single bill of ours that wasn't directly related to my father because I need to know that what there is to work with after the house sells. The investment money is what remains of my father's lawsuit from the accident that led him to be in a wheelchair 30 years ago, and it's not quite 6 figures. Although I have been losing money with the way the stock market has been, as long as the money is in there, it is earning, and the more that stays in there, the more it earns. We'll also have to pay taxes on anything that is taken out. I will never have the money to put back what's taken out either. And if you don't want to take out, but you want to receive, you could listen to full episodes with stories like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcast app, and search OK Storytime. So, there's another relevant update, but let's discuss. I feel like I don't really have too much to say. Do you have anything to say?
I'm waiting for the sister to be furious. It seems like
it's leading
doesn't. The sister does not care.
Yeah.
It seems like. I think we need to hear the end of the story before I'm ready to talk on it, because I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm waiting for this other shoe to drop about the
And we're
sister.
also speedrunning the story. So.
Yeah.
My sister knew this money existed, but not the amount until recently because I knew it would stir up bad feelings, so I didn't tell her. And I was not wrong. She's now angry with me, angry that I've had access to this money the entire time and haven't paid off her bills, forcing her to tap into her 401k. So, am I the a-hole? Am I being unreasonable asking her to wait until our father's house sells and not giving her any of the money he left to me right now? He doesn't even want my husband to touch it. I don't think you owe your sister anything. And also, you are intending to help your sister.
Exactly.
And it's going to just be it's going to be financially more comfortable because in like will processes, knowing from personal experiences with family members, and also conflict from that, things change drastically. And so it's best not to like communicate what certain numbers will be because it changes. It's like it's so up in the air of like what that number is going to be.
That was like OP's entire reasoning.
Exactly.
OP was like, I'm not playing around with it until I know how much is there.
Exactly. And so that seems quite reasonable and smart to me to be like, hey, I'm not using any of the money. I'm not giving you any of the money. And I will help you out, even though I don't have to, but it's kind that she's helping her out.
Yeah.
Once I know what money is available, it seems like that's the most intelligent thing to do.
I think, just probably, I don't know. I'm sure maybe you've already had this conversation with your sister, but just letting her know the full game plan. And also being like, also, I think what our dad did was messed up. I think it's really messed up that he just left you $100. And any of this money that can go towards helping you pay off any debts that you have, I'm more than happy to help you. But we just have to wait until we know what we're working with. And then, because I have my own life. I want to be able to use this money to help me and my partner and you. I think we can all prosper here. We just have to wait. And so it's just a waiting game.
And also, it's like, I celebrate her for going no contact with her dad. I think that was a good decision. But if you're going to cut someone out of your life, you're not entitled to their money when they pass.
True.
And so I'm not celebrating OP for staying in relationship with her father. Although, if anyone deserves the money, it's OP.
Yes.
If you want more stories like this, search for our podcast, OK Storytime, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.